Alright everyone, this video is going to be a little different, no? I am doing this as a response to one of our viewers who commented in a previous video about his trade idea on EMP. Okay? When I read that, ang unang pumasok sa isip ko is, hey, this is interesting. Perhaps this is something we can do moving forward para mas matulungan ko kayo sa mga trades nyo, no? Whether trade idea pa lang siya, hindi pa na-execute, or perhaps na-execute nyo na pero hindi kayo sure kung maganda ba yung ginawa nyo, hindi maganda ginawa nyo, and so on. I figured this could be a new series moving forward that allows me to help you streamline your thought process. But I am not gonna actually grade, quote-unquote, your trades. I'm not gonna say C+ or 5 stars or whatever, no? But more of, parang kakwentuhan nyo lang. We will discuss your trade idea or your trade execution, break it down, then I'll give you my thoughts, okay? And these will be my personal thoughts. It doesn't necessarily mean na tama sila or mas tama sila kaysa sa iniisip nyo. These are just my thoughts on my approach. Okay? You can agree with it, you can disagree with it, that's fine. Okay? But I'm hoping you can learn something from it. You can pick up something from it. Now, ang entry parameters na binigay ng viewer natin, who will remain unnamed for the purpose of privacy, even though I realize you can just look back sa mga older videos to find kung sino yung nag-comment. Okay, but I am gonna do my part to protect the privacy as much as I can, no? He wanted to enter on the first green candle with volume after a pullback to 22 pesos. Now, viewer, if I got this wrong, please feel free to correct me. Pero yun yung pagkaintindi ko sa statement na iniwan niya. Now, the stop was going to be on a close beneath 21 pesos. And as far as I know, open target kasi walang nakalagay doon. Alright? So, sa mga viewers natin who are watching this and seeing na, oh, you know what? I do want you to grade my trade too. Feel free to be as detailed as possible kasi the more details you give, the more thoughts I can share din. Otherwise, I am somewhat limited kasi I can't guess what you're thinking. I can't guess what you're planning. Alright? Now, before we go to this, I just want to point out yung mga levels ko dito sa EMP. First, yung resistance na na-form natin, around 25 pesos. Okay? Next, yung 22. And I get that. Pareho dun sa binigay ng viewer natin. Why is that important? Kasi if we look back, if we zoom out, siya yung previous high dito. Okay? So I understand why our viewer was looking for a potential pullback to that particular area. Now, the stop was beneath 21, this level here. I also have a level there kasi siya yung last high prior to price breaking out. Okay? And then, meron akong level dito at 18.8 kasi siya yung last swing low dito prior to price moving higher. Diba? We swung up, pulled back, formed the swing low, and then moved higher. And then finally, I have another level around here dito sa 17.5 kasi meron tayong support, and so on. Do sa level na yan. It also acted as previous resistance. Tanggalin ko lang itong magnet. Previous resistance here. Now that we've established yung mga levels na nandyan, let's discuss yung mga sinabi ng viewer natin. First, pull back to 22. So obviously, late ko na nagawa tong video. Pero we've pulled back beyond 22, no? But it won't change yung analysis ko or yung thoughts ko on the matter. First, pull back to 22, honestly, for me, was a good idea. Kasi dyan tayo last na nag-breakout eh. Yan yung previous high. So, pullbacks to that price would be significant. Diba? Hindi nakakagulat na had we pulled back there to find some type of reaction and then react from there to see if we can push higher. The fact na nag-gap down tayo papunta dito sa 20 pesos, kanina pa yung low was 19.42, is irrelevant. Okay? I believe na tama yung viewer natin looking for a potential pullback sa 22 pesos. However, yung stop at 21 felt a little weird to me. Why? Kasi, meron tayong unfilled na gap dito. Okay? So, ang last na close natin dito was 20.9. So, there was always the possibility that price could have pulled back hanggang dun sa gap, tapos react from there and move higher. Mahirap kasi yung expectation na dapat tick perfect lagi yung level na binabantayan natin. Meaning, kapag nag-pull back to sa 21, kapag nag-20.95, mali na yan. Diba? Why? Kasi, generally speaking, we want to work in terms of areas rather than an exact price. Otherwise, we are putting too much pressure on ourselves. Diba? Kasi feeling natin, kailangan lagi sakto at tama eh. We are putting too much pressure on ourselves and the market. Kasi not only do we have to be right, kailangan sundan tayo ng market. Diba? And at the end of the day, sino ba naman tayo? We're nothing. Diba? So, a stop just beneath 21 felt a little bit off sa akin. Diba? In fact, structurally speaking, stop should have gone beneath tong 18.8. Kasi, yun yung last swing low natin. Kaya ako may level doon. Not just that, this was an inflection point, meaning it acted as resistance, 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 and as support, support along the way. So, it was a more significant level of contention. So, kung nag-pull back yung price all the way there, nabasag yan, let's say na ito tumuloy, nabasag tong 18.8, then we expect price to push back deeper, perhaps coming back into this area here. However, breaking slightly beneath 21 means nothing. Kasi, in the grand scheme of things, number 1, buo pa rin yung higher high, higher low mo. Number 2, as I've often said in the past, usually mga quick moves like this tend to be eaten up. How much of it is eaten up, of course, varies. Hindi mo pwedeng sabihin, hindi, kailangan 80% lang yan yung makain. Hindi, dapat 50% lang yan yung makain. Okay? It's variable. It changes from one situation to the next. So, because of that, I wouldn't place a stop beneath 21 had I wanted to trade dito sa 22 kasi alanganin. Okay? Now, I know a lot of people like to use yung arbitrary stops, meaning 5% stop, 7% stop, 10% stop, whatever insert number here stop, no? I'm not a believer in that kasi para sa akin, we spend time to analyze charts, diba? To study whatever you want, mga indicators or what have you. Tapos, at the end of the day, ang gagawin mo lang is yung stop mo ilalagay mo in some random place just because it's a number you're comfortable at na mawalan ng pera. Para sa akin, the structure has to change. And yun yung problema sa mga ganitong klaseng trade. Because it moved up so fast, ang hirap niya lagyan ng stop. I always tell my students this. If you can't find a good place to put your stop, don't take the trade. And in this particular instance, because the stop had to go so deep, it's a trade I personally wouldn't have taken. Diba? Do I believe it could have bounced at 22? Sure. Was I wrong? Obviously. Diba? Was my stop hit? No. But I was wrong kung kunwari sinabi ko na mag-bounce sa 22. And I freely admit to that. We can't always be right. Kaya ako lagi sinasabi na dapat, kung ganon, hihintayin mo muna mag-react, tapos kung medyo may confirmation ka na, doon ka pumasok. I always say in all my videos na walang masama na magbayad ng mas mahal ng konti if that means na you're paying for the confirmation. Okay? Now, because doon sa nangyari ngayon, okay? Obviously, negated na yung trade idea ng viewer natin. But, it doesn't make the case less interesting to talk about. 22 was still a good level, as I said, because it was the previous high. Okay? The fact na break down niya, bumalik tayo dito sa area of previous consolidation na to, almost tick perfect, is irrelevant. So the question right now is, kung makuha natin yung green candle na sinasabi ni Sir, okay? Let's say makuha natin yung green candle with volume, should we still get in? Problema naman sa ganun ngayon is it's always possible na ma-fill tong gap tapos mag-roll over din tayo. Mag-form ng some type of head and shoulders pattern here. We don't know. Diba? We can't predict. Or, it's possible na mauntog tayo sa area of consolidation na to sa taas and then roll over from there. Okay? So, yun yung tinitingnan natin with this. So far, I've said na 22 was a good place to possibly wait for a pullback. The fact we didn't get it doesn't change the fact that it was a good place to wait for a pullback. Stop was tricky just because napakalalim. Therefore, it's not a trade I would have taken because this is what it would look like. If I did this 22, the stop here, tapos target natin around 25, that would have been a 0.98:1 na risk-reward ratio. Okay? Not a trade I would have taken at all. However, let's say na iba to ng konti. Let's say na, kunyari, 1.5:1 siya. Does that mean you should take the trade? Hindi pa rin. Kasi, based on your statistics, on your data, dun nyo lang masasabi ano yung mga trades na dapat kinukuha nyo. Kung kunwari, ang win rate nyo nasa mga 20-30%, then trades with an average of 1.5:1 is not something you should take because in the long run, mathematically speaking, talo ka. Diba? But, kung kunwari, ang win rate mo nasa mga 70%, 60+%, 1.5:1 is something you can take. Kasi, over the long run, you can expect na ikita ka based on that type of expectancy. But again, that differs from case to case to case. Personally, I wouldn't have taken a trade na ganito, na ganyang kalalim yung stop. What would I have done? I would have waited for yung bounce na sinasabi ni Sir, look for bullish price structure, and then gotten in once I got that structure. Paano kung hindi ako nakapasok? Paano kung di ko nakuha yung bullish price structure tapos tumuloy na? Eh di wala. Can't trade everything. And I'm okay with that. And that's something that you will likely need to be okay with too if you intend to play this game for the long term. Diba? You need to accept na you can't trade everything. And then finally, what I wanted to discuss last was yung target na open. So kahit na open yung target, you still need to have a realistic expectation of where it could hit first. In this particular instance, where it could hit first was 25 pesos kasi nandiyan yung resistance. Now, for me, I want a decent risk-reward headed towards the first potential target para if sakali man na hindi yan mabasag so pullback tayo, it will still be a profitable trade. Just because there's a reasonable expectation na kung nag-bounce dyan, babalik doon, it doesn't mean we should take the trade. Kasi, hindi pa rin natin alam ano yung mangyayari. Risk pa rin yung importante. Is the risk worth it? Diba? In my case, okay, again, I am not saying na hindi dapat siya nag-stop sa 20. Kung talaga gusto niya, di ko na mapipigilan eh. I'm saying what I think, what I would do. So, in my case, I wouldn't take it because the risk-reward was bad, was atrocious. Diba? It's a trade that I would take. So, because of that, I would pass on it. Even though sabihin natin mag-bounce yan, bumalik, wala akong pagsisisi. Kasi alam ko na it's not the type of trade I should be taking. So, our focus should not stay on the upside only. Sa totoo lang, madali lang i-manage yung trade na green na na positive na. Our focus should be more towards the downside risk kasi yun yung nasa control natin Whether or not price goes up or goes down, wala tayong hawak doon. Okay? Unless, super whale ka, upon which congratulations, no? But, how we react when things don't go our way, yun nasa control natin. So that's where I would focus. I would focus sa risk, and since in this case, hindi acceptable sa akin yung risk, then it's not a trade that I would take. Okay? So I hope nasagutan ko yung question ng viewer natin. No? I hope na-explain ko lang mabuti. If may mali ako sa pagkaintindi ko do sa sinabi mo, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Na as for everyone else, I hope na nagustuhan nyo tong bagong series natin. And I do hope that you participate, no? Post your trades, whether it's something na iniisip nyo pa lang. Share your ideas eloquently. The more detailed you are, the more we can discuss it in a proper manner. Diba? Kahit na post-trade, you just want to talk about the trade, kung feeling mo tama ginawa mo, mali ginawa mo, we can talk about all of that. Let me know. Kasi if this is something that can help you guys, then this is a series that I want to continue moving forward. Pero kayo lang ang makapagsasabi kung tama nga o hindi na ituloy itong series na to. Okay? So, I hope na nagustuhan nyo itong Grade Your Trade. And as always, maraming salamat po sa panonood. I really appreciate it. Good luck and happy trading!